We are here in the Inuit homelands in Nunavut, Canada, and we are now leaving the town of Mittimatalik towards Greenland. In the next 5 days, we will try to cover around 500 miles and cross the Baffin Bay eastwards. We expect increasingly windy and difficult conditions, with hundreds of icebergs thrown in for some extra excitement. This is the last leg of our attempt to sail the Northwest Passage from Alaska to Greenland, a total of 5,000 miles through some of the most remote areas on the planet. Each year, the numerous glaciers on the west coast of Greenland carve around 35 to 40,000 icebergs into the sea, and these travel in a circular motion around Baffin Bay, carried by the currents. Our route will intersect these so-called iceberg alleys. So we are now here on Baffin Bay, and this whole area is riddled with icebergs. So there's a lot more along the shores and a little bit less maybe in the middle, but we expect to see icebergs pretty much all the time. We pretty much expect to have one in the horizon or on the radar all the time. Currently we have several. This here is an iceberg there, and we are just passing it. It's on our port side, and you can see it with your bare eyes because it's towards the sunset. And there are a few more icebergs that the radar is picking up right now. So we have one on our starboard side, one behind us, and then port side forward around 4 miles away there is a really huge one. So these ones that the radar is picking up, they are really easy to dodge. It's the really small ones that are the problem, you know. I just saw literally 10 minutes ago, I saw one that was the size of like a fridge, an American fridge, you know. I just saw it on our port side pretty close, and I was not able to see it on radar earlier because it only sticks out, you know, maybe 2 feet, 50-60 centimeters, but it's still going to weigh like a couple of tons, metric tons, so it would be really not so great to hit one. I'm not worried about it like puncturing the hull or tearing a hole in the hull really, but it could damage our rudder, could damage our centerboard, and it could damage our propeller. So those are a problem, and especially now when it's getting dark, well, I'm trying to keep a visual lookout as well as I can, but at some point it'll just get too dark for that, and then the only option I think is just to slow down. It's an incredibly beautiful day here. If I need to motor, then I like to do it on a day like this. Today we are gonna do a little bit of housekeeping, and for that I am going to install or put back the chimney for the diesel stove and run the diesel stove to warm up the water, because we are running low on propane, and for washing things you need a lot of warm water, so it's a good thing to take care of now that the conditions are pretty good for stuff like that. Okay, we have hot water here, and we already have some here, so I'm doing some dishes. But here's the problem that we're kind of starting to have with everything on board. Things are starting to get quite crusty, so this is our dish towel. We have a few of these, but it's just not very soft anymore because it's so salty. We do not have a water maker, so we've been saving water by doing dishes with salt water and also, you know, doing showers with half fresh water, half salt water, and so on. We haven't needed a water maker before because in Alaska you can get fresh water quite easily. Here we either need to start getting fresh water from the streams or, I don't know, maybe eventually a water maker. Suihku on valmis. Shower is ready.
Mä kävin ennen kokonaishuollossa.
Spa day, spa day.
Kokonaishuollosta vettä.
Alright guys, I'm sure that you are very excited for my shower routine, but before I reveal that, I want to remind you of the last chance to get one of my aluminum photo prints from the Northwest Passage. This is a limited time print run that is only available until the Valentine's Day, February 14th. Printed on rigid aluminum panels, these prints come ready to hang on your wall, no framing required. Shipping worldwide at very reasonable rates. Check them out at art.alluringarctic.com.
Okay, a cold plunge first. Brr. Okay, then engine back to cruising speed. Seawater temperature plus 4.1 Celsius, by the way. Could be warmer, could be colder. So here's a big one that's disintegrating, and look at all of this here. We probably need to hand steer for a little bit to get through that. Yeah, you're supposed to pass these really big ones upwind of them. But since there's no wind right now, it's all just depends on currents, and the currents are pretty erratic here. We don't really know what's happening for sure, so that's why we might run into bands like this also during the night. I mean, right now it's not an issue, but during the night, yeah. Even hitting one like this here would be a little bit bad. Windy now, we're starting to be overpowered. We switch to the staysail. The problem with the staysail is that it comes all the way down to the deck, so it really affects the visibility forward. You can't see the ice as well anymore. The good thing about our Genoa is that it's a high clew, so you can see underneath it, but you can't really see underneath the jib. So so I'm not really sure. And yes, those are my long johns that I watched yesterday. Let's take a quick look at the map here. So we started off from Mitti-Matalik here, and we are trying to get to west coast of Greenland. And we've been just waiting for the weather forecast to clear up so that we can decide whether we can go, you know, further south here or whether we have to take the shortest route north. And for now it looks like the weather will cooperate, so we have changed course and we are now heading for Kekertasuaq on the Disco Island here. And this is one of the spots where there's a huge amount of icebergs, so we are trying to time it so that we make this entrance here during daylight. Yee! Nice! Okay, so I guess you could say that we got lucky the first 2 nights here, but this second night is proving to be more problematic. The wind did not die down like in the forecast, and we still have some waves and it's cloudy, so there is no visibility. So I have slowed down the boat to 3 knots. We're doing 3 knots right now, just trying to use the radar to pick up the icebergs. We passed one maybe an hour ago, and I'll give you a quick look outside. I'll use the flashlight here, even though I shouldn't really. I still have the mainsail out, and I just sheeted a little bit too loose to jump some speed. And out here, well, we are kind of like bobbing along. It's kind of uncomfortable motion right now. There's still white caps around, and the waves are coming directly from beam. We have started going a little bit further north here. We are not going directly for our target, which is here. We are going a little bit further north because in the morning the wind is supposed to abruptly turn to north and start blowing quite hard. So we are going a little bit towards north here to get a better wind angle, a more comfortable wind angle tomorrow. And we really should try and make it within the next 36 or 40 hours, because after that there is a big low pressure coming in and it doesn't look very friendly at all. And we really should try and be anchored before this thing hits us. I know it's low quality right now, but you can see the colors. It's angry. It's very angry.
The night was restless but otherwise uneventful, and the next morning I woke up to dense fog, a 180-degree wind shift, confused seas and increasing winds.
Oh no, really awful fog. This really is not so much fun.
Päästä vaan.
really annoying that we have to reef just because it's foggy, but I think it's the safest thing to do. We would like to be fast here because then during the night we will slow down a lot again, and we would really love to make it into the anchorage, into the town by tomorrow evening. Otherwise we're gonna have, you know, more darkness with ice. The Baffin Bay is proving to be a bit of a final boss for us here. Koti and Sophie are both sleeping and everyone's a little bit tired, so now we are not really, everyone's just doing a 2 or 3 hour watch or so and then going back down below to get some rest and food and so on. Not as luxurious that as it was a week or 2 ago. We checked the amenities in Kekatasuak, and you know, there is no harbor or anything, you just have to anchor out, but there is a sauna and there is a cafe where I think you can get beer. Getting really rolly here, by the way. Very rolly. Okay, here we go. One more night of this. Icebergs and darkness. You can see here in the radar image this huge chunk. The radar picked it up already 8 miles away and it's now around 3 miles away. And there's a smaller one here as well. It's around 2 miles away. And I've altered course to starboard to leave at least 1.5 miles between any of these. We are only doing 2.6 knots right now, which is good. I really don't want to go faster because this is hopefully going to be the last night that we have to spend within the icebergs and in darkness. So I just don't want to make a stupid mistake now before we get to Greenland. So a few days ago you could still stand here and try and peek forward, and you could kind of trick yourself into thinking that you might be able to see the ice in the relative darkness, but right now it's just too dark. Alright, arrival to Greenland very soon. We can already see the shores of the Disco Island, and we can also see the reason why we wanted to time this arrival together with daylight, and also the reason why we are motoring now, because we want to be as quick as possible to get into Kekatasuak, into the anchorage before it gets dark. There's just so much ice here, huge icebergs, small growlers and smaller bits as well, so you really don't want to be here in the dark. Soon it's done. When we drop anchor and when it touches the bottom in Greenland, then for me that's at least the completion of the Northwest Passage right there. Really crazy to think about it. I don't know, to think that 2 years back we bought this boat and now we are here. We'll wait until the anchorage though before we pop the champagne, which we don't have any, but we'll find something else.
Heipä hei! En ole hirveästi jutellut tälle kameralle, mutta tänä vikana päivänä toki, miksi ei. Nyt ollaan melkein jo perillä. Vielä ei saa ihan ilakoida, on ehkä kuin 15 mailia. Mutta no melkein ollaan nyt perillä ja ollaan tultu sitten luoteisvailla haikkeisiä. On kyllä mennyt ihan super hyvin, tai paljon jotenkin lepposammin kuin olin ajatellut, ja meillä on ollut ihan tosi hyvä tuuri säiden kanssa ja muuta. Että nyt on muutaman päivän mulla ollut vähän huono olo, kun oli aika inhottavaa sellaista sivuaallokkoa. Mutta onneksi Kuutti oli täällä vielä, niin sitten sai ihan hyvillä mielin tuolla levätä. Mutta joo, kohta ollaan perillä. Aika hurjaa. Nyt täällä vielä on aika paljon näitä jäävuoria. Mutta ne on tommosia isoja klänttejä onneksi, niin niitä on aika helppo sit huomata ja seurata. Mutta joo, vielä ei ilakoida, mutta kohta.
Hey, hello. Yeah, we made it. Hi. Is it done now? Onko tää valmis?
It is.
Okay, the last alcoholic drinks that we have on board. Ai vitsi!
Hyvä me. Nyt voi iloita. Yes. Päästiin perille.
Qeqertasuaq is a town of around 800 people, but to us it seemed like a big city.
No one at the police. Trying to check into the country, but no one here.
It's hard to put the meaning of arriving here into words, and we were probably too tired to really think about it. For several years, we've had the dream of sailing to Greenland, and now we had finally done it. We bought this boat in a very sorry state 2 years ago, fixed her up, and now we've already made it from California to Alaska and then through the Northwest Passage. There are many unsung heroes along our journey who have not been shown in these videos. We have met so many people who have helped us along the way, maybe lending us their tools or a truck, or sharing some knowledge and encouragement. Huge thanks to all of you. Also, enormous thanks to all the patrons who have supported the creation of these videos. Making this Northwest Passage video series has been extremely time consuming, and there is no way I would have gone through with it had it not been for your support. And thanks to all of you who've been watching these videos, whether patrons or not. These videos are made for you and would not exist without you watching them. Huge thanks also to all of our long-standing main equipment partners, Heli Hansen, Ray Marine, Elan Skis and Scandinavian Outdoor.
Noin, siitä hyvä. Sitten ota kaljaa siitä.
No, tuu käymään täällä. Tuu. Joo. Joo. The journey is of course not over yet though, because we are now in Greenland, overwintering in the ice in middle of nowhere, and this is some actual crazy stuff here. And in the next few videos I will catch up to the real-time events and show you what we are doing and how the hell we ended up in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video series, then consider becoming a patron. Patrons basically fund these videos and fund my salary for creating these videos, and as a patron you get access to a WhatsApp chat group and some real-time updates and ad-free videos and so on and so forth. But most importantly, you are the crucial part of making these videos come true. And remember, just as a last plug, remember that the print sale is going on until February 14th of 2025, and this is a limited time print run. This print selection will not be available again after this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye bye.